Wancho, I could not be more excited for this battle of titans, if you will. You have an international champion versus a regional champion, just looking at the accomplishments themselves. Now, the last time Alex Schemanske was in a top 8 in North America, it was Charlotte of last season. Then, of course, his big win in London the season before that, but you cannot deny the season that Henry Chow is also having here. The first regional champion of this season here in North America, going on to Toronto in top 16, Louisville top 64 as well, and even top 32 at LAIC. This will certainly be a match to remember.
Absolutely. Two titans. Again, Henry Chow is having, again, a lot of modern wins here, but Alex Schemanske, honestly, one of the best players in the world, one of the best players in history, in my opinion. And I could not be more excited, especially with two of the most, I think, interesting decks that we have in the format. At least, you know, no Regidragos in sight, no dragons even in sight, just a bunch of Ralts, a lot of turtles. But here we go, prizes going up. Glass Trumpet and a knocked out prize there for Alex Schemanske, while only one Kirlia boss orders Arvin, one of almost every supporter for Henry Chow. Not too bad. Again, these are cards we have multiples of, so things are looking good. We should have a very, very good game here for the finals of the San Antonio Regional Championships. I can't believe we're finally at this spot. You know, over 2,000, around 2,400 players. It is one of the biggest, if not biggest, regional championships to date. And one of these two can stand above all the rest. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see who it's gonna be.
You know, Wancho, this is the first time I think we're on for a set and the prizes aren't detrimental, I think, to either player. I think Alex not having access to the Bidoof when he goes to look for it off of his nest ball here is going to be a little bit tough, but here we are. We are in our finals here of San Antonio. Will be Henry Chow going first, starting off with the Ralts in the active and that nest ball to see. Honestly, like we said, like we were talking about, the prizes aren't that bad here. We have access to a lot. I didn't get to see the rest of the hand, but honestly, Henry going first, I think that means one coin flip.
Definitely, definitely. Again, being able to go first means we're able to evolve first. We're able to essentially maybe throw the first attack. Again, Nest Ball being the first item being played here. It's not Buddy Poffin, so it's not the most ideal first item you want to throw. I believe this is the one of Nest Ball as well in Henry Chow's list. I mean, this doesn't have the restriction of the 70 HP, so this can grab something like the Monkey Dory or something a little bit bigger, a Radiant Greninja potentially to maybe draw a couple more cards. But yeah, we'd love to see a Buddy Poffin get a little bit more Ralts into play so we can evolve them to Kirlias, start drawing into our deck. And what do you think, Lyric? Who do you think is favored in this matchup?
I mean, Wancho, I'm going to be honest, I'm very biased. This was my caster pick for a reason. I think this is, I think Gardevoir was heavily slept on for this event, and we can kind of see why, right? Especially with the innovator, the master of the universe, and whatever title we are giving Henry now on this Gardevoir here. We've really been able to adapt to the meta here, but of course, it's something always to note out whenever you're playing against Origin Form, Palkia V, and that V-Star, you will have access to that Star Portal. Moonlight Shuriken from Radiant Greninja is very well still a threat, even after, you know, metas and metas later. We're still talking about it now.
That's for sure, and right now, Moonlight Shuriken is technically on the other foot, but we're not going to use that attack. We're going to be using that ability Concealed Cards. Looks like that was a grab off the Nest Ball. Did use the Earthen Vessel as well to get 2 more energies into hand. That means we do have, you know, ammo to try and draw a couple cards here. I believe I did at least see the Manaphy in the hand as well, so that's definitely one of the Pokemon you want to establish. Another Ralts as well, so not too bad. However, nothing else really going on in the hand. There's no supporter yet for next turn, but we do have the TM Evo, but we already have a Kirlia in hand as well, so we do have some draw potential, but we're going to pass it back on now to Alex Schemanske. Just an attach for turn. We can rule the region, potentially try and find a stadium card, but it's going to be a Professor's Research. We're going to try and establish a little bit here. Again, it's now Alex Schemanske's time to try and find their very key 70 HP or less Pokemon, maybe Fan Rotom potentially, but it might just be this lone Hoot. I'm not seeing anything else.
I have to talk about it, Wancho, just because I saw in that professor's research was the one copy of Lost Vacuum that Alex Schemanske plays here. So essentially trying to get a little bit fancy with a combo knockout here, vacuuming the charm off of the Drifloon is actually not going to be available anymore. And just like you said, it is going to be a rule the region for the only stadium, I believe, in the list, and the only one that this archetype plays, and that's going to be that Area 0 Underdepths. Not that much from Alex this turn in terms of setup.
No, definitely. You loved it. I'm sure Alex was trying to find the Buddy Buddy Puff and try to find a little bit more, right? The Fan Rotom, which can only be used on the first turn of the game. But now we're passing it back to Henry Chao. Did refine away the Spiritomb. I don't think, definitely not going to matter this matchup. It was very important for his top 4 match. However, we have one more potential to draw here with the Radiant Greninja. We got another route, so potentially there's still, maybe Henry Chao is like trying to think here, attach the energy to the active and just TM Evo the 1 routes, or do we try and draw a little bit more? Maybe you get a little bit luckier with that concealed cards.
Professor Turo Scenario here going to pick up the Kirlia and evolve the one on the active as well, and see now what could have been 3 cards to an extra 5. So we will be able to keep that energy in play and find another Ralts here. So now we are going to be able to use that TM evolution, be able to draw in. But honestly, a slow start from both of our competitors here, Wanjo.
A very, very great play, however, using that Professor's Churro to get the full effect of these technical machine evolution. I mean, yes, it does pick up that one Kirlia that was already in the bench, but we had one in the active, a Ralt in the active to evolve anyway. So got that draw, saw a little bit more, got TM evolution now. Again, full effect. 3 Kirlias now in play that Alex Schemanske has to deal with, as well as that the Mana Feast just protecting the double Kirlias on the bench. Things might be slipping away here for Alex if he can't put something together, because I don't think this hand was any good. Yeah, it wasn't too great. All we had is the Iono, but an Iono is something. That's 6 fresh new cards. There's a Nest Ball. What was that? That is Earthen Vessel and an Ultra Ball. We can at least attack here. We do have the Origin Form Palkia V-Star, which we are going to evolve. We can't use the Radiant Greninja attack yet because we don't have Conceal Guard. It has to be a combo, right? Right. But let's see what we can put together. It's going to be the Earthen Vessel, discarding an energy, but we're going to get two more water energies. Not too bad there. It does have the Nest Ball, so we're going to find a Radiant Greninja, possibly. Yeah, there it is. So Alex Schemanske's own Radiant Greninja. Try and find 2 more cards. Maybe if we find the combination of Prime Catcher plus the Canson Cologne, this could be a very, very good turn. And guess what? All it takes is an owl.
It is very true, and I was just about to talk about that one, Chow. We do have an Ultra Ball in the hand if we kind of want to kind of go wide for this one here. I don't believe we even need to use Star Portal just yet, unless we have a way to, or we don't have a way to get energy, but we do have just the manual attached for turn. But it looks like that Ultra Ball will be coming into play here to find that Noctowl, so at least we can expand the bench even more. Terapagos EX is sitting on the bench right now, as we are going to discard Kieran and that Pheasantipity EX for Noctowl. Because Terapagos is there, we can use the Jewel Seeker ability to find 2 cards. But my goodness, already going to be able to get that Moonlight Shuriken lockdown here. Alex Schemanske going to be able to fire back.
There it is, the big combo cards we were talking about earlier. Again, it's 2 cards, but thanks to the Jewel Seeker ability on that Noctowl, it was actually fairly easy to put together. And just like that, Henry Chao is going to be going down 2 Kirlias. Luckily, there's 3. Again, thanks to his earlier play with the Professor Turo, was able to really establish this board. Again, Star Portal even gets the attachment on the Palkia. There's a lot of energy on the board at the moment. Nothing is being wasted here. Canson Cologne now shuts off the Wave Veil ability on that Manaphy. That means it's protecting absolutely nothing. And there it is. Moonlight Shuriken, 90 damage to 2 Pokemon. And we say farewell to a couple of these Kirlias. There's still 1, but a lot is riding on this 1 Kirlia.
Now it is all up to how Henry responds here. I do like the fact that we also were able to attach for turn onto the Origin form Palkia V-Star too. I feel like a lot of the times when players play this deck, they are so focused on getting the Moonlight Shuriken out as quickly as possible. They do forget that the Origin form Palkia is also a very key attacker here, but we are able to at least evolve into our Curlia right now. Still, Henry going through, just checking that discard pile here. Has the Ultra Ball in hand, we could potentially see a reversal there in terms of maybe a Scream Tail or maybe even this Drifloon here, but we got to find potentially something like a counter catcher, Wancho.
There's the evolution, though, into the Gardevoir EX. Again, this is the hallmark of this deck, be able to accelerate energy from the discard pile. It is our attacker as well sometimes, so very important card. However, it is now covering the a refinement Curlia. That means Henry Chao's only means of draw is really this Radiant Greninja at this point. We're going to go ahead and Ultra Ball to try to find the Scream Tail. This is a great Pokemon to try and possibly snipe something on the bench, maybe do some damage onto the Palkia. We can't target the Terra Pokemon Terrapagos, however, but let's see what Henry Chao has in store. Looks like there's a Night Stretcher as well. Get one more Curlia, so try and re-establish the board. A big Iono here. Henry gets 6. Alex Schemanske is a little bit disrupted, down to 4, but we'll have to see what both players draw.
Finds a counter catcher as well off of the Iono here too for Henry. And this is honestly what Guardy does really best in the mid game, right? Like you're able to start to pull ahead, taking prizes against Guardy, and then Gardevoir says, you know what, I'm going to start kind of disrupting your hand. You're not going to be too comfortable here. If this Palkia V-Star goes down, I'm not quite sure, just because I didn't see Alex's hand, what the kind of run of play would be. I mean, we don't have another Hoot down, so we can't use Jewel Seeker again. We don't have really much to work with. I think I did see a Buddy Poffin, and that's great establishing, but that's not going to give us a lot of outs right here, right now.
That's for sure, as we are going to go ahead and accelerate energy onto the Scream Tail. That's 80 damage on it, but now we're shooting up 160 damage. But we're going to go ahead and grab the Terrapagos, but target down the Radiant Greninja, limiting, again, Alex Schemanske's draw potential a little bit here. And again, Terrapagos is a little bit tough to attack with, especially since we need 2 energies. We're going to need the Trumpet, I believe. The Trumpet was prized earlier. I think it was drawn off the prizes, though. But now it should be in the bottom of the deck. I'm looking at the hand. Nothing much to work with. Again, these decks really do depend on that Hoot to be able to Hoot into the knocked out, the Jewel Seeker ability to really get going. And since Alex Schemanske missed out on the earlier Fan Rotom, is now just establishing the board with the Buddy Poffin to double Hoot now hitting the board. Looking at the hand, is there even a supporter? Is that a Turo? No.
It is a Thornton, I believe. Alex does play one of Thornton. The trainer list down the line for supporters especially is very interesting because you have 2 bosses, 2 Ionos, 1 Research, 1 Thornton, 1 Silene. You know, a lot of players have a very kind of crazy love-hate relationship with Silene, 1 Kieran, and 1 Irida as well. So very teched out list here, but there comes that Thornton here, and I love this play here. Just going to go on ahead and grab Pheasantipity straight out of the discard pile, and now Alex has a little bit more of a hand, but it's not exactly the best. How do we get Pheasantipity out of the active?
We needed 1 more energy card. However, again, 3 cards didn't quite work out. Thornton was the supporter for turn, so even if we drew into a supporter, we couldn't do anything. And it's just a pass. So Henry Chao here buying some time. This Scream Tail with 10 HP was able to survive the turn. And now he can start shooting 160 more damage on the board. I believe that's exactly what Henry needed to get back into this game. He lost 2 Curlias, but by buying 1 turn, it's going to allow this Raw to at least evolve. We do see the Moonlit Hill. Just discarding the Stadium, that means Alex Schemanske has to go down in bench size. Easy discard there. Just the Knocked Owl. Already done its job. Do we see any Refinement Curlias in hand potentially for Henry? What do we see, Lyric?
It's hard to tell, right? Well, we do have outs to it. I see an Arven, I see an Irida as well. And we're thinking about playing the Irida too. we've already used our concealed cards. I want to see exactly how we get in that. There it is. There's the Night Stretcher here. Going to be able to find it here, and another refinement going down here as we're going to be able to draw 2 more cards here. But this is kind of a miss from Alex on this last turn. I feel like we could easily find maybe potentially a little bit more damage with that counter catcher. Could use Arven for that bravery charm and have a maximum damage output. We definitely don't want to heal off of the Moonlight Hill here, but the stadium bump last turn was actually pretty important here. But there is the Hisuian Heavy Ball. Henry's going to get another quick look at the prizes as he is going to be writing it down for a quick moment here. Like we said, nothing too detrimental in there. The one of Artisan will definitely come into play a little bit later when Alex reestablishes the board, so we can bump the area 0 under depths here. Missing that one Curlia isn't too dangerous, plus also we play 3 Dark Energy in this list.
Definitely. We haven't seen any Monkey Dory yet. I would love to try and see some, some damage manipulation at this point. But right now we have a Screamtail established. 160 damage is a lot, but Arven now is the supporter for turn. We're going to see a Bravery Charm. We're going to try to... Are we going to try to go for the knockout potentially with something like a Drifloon? Oh no, we can attack with the Screamtail. We increase the HP on the Screamtail and do a ton more damage. Let's see what Henry Chao else has planned else. We do see the secret box to the A-spec of choice for Henry. Again, very, very powerful. What do you think is going to happen, Lyric?
It's hard to say. I feel like Secret Box has definitely gotten a lot more popular over, the past couple months, even starting from last season coming on over here. I know for us, we saw it in Ancient Box at one point, then we see it in Miraidon, and now we see it in something like a Gardevoir as well. We do have a couple of cards that I think can be easily discarded here, but like I said, we're definitely trying to eye up something on the bench that attacks. I would love to see that Origin Form Palkia V-Star go down this turn, especially because we have been thin on energy, and Alex has already used the Origin Form Palkia V-Star's ability, Star Portal, to attach energy. So we actually need to find a way to start kind of putting a stop to his plans here.
That's for sure. All right. Let's see if the Bravery Charm gets attached. Looks like it is going to be giving Screamtail 50 more HP to work with. That's going to be a little bit more damage. So attaching one more Psychic Energy, so it should bring it down to 40 HP. Yeah, so that's 100 damage. So that, 100 damage on the Screamtail, 200 damage. No, sorry, 100, 200 damage on the Pheasantipity, leaving it with 10 HP left. I like that play. We're not necessarily taking a knockout, but we're still keeping it stuck, and we can potentially knock it out in between turns. As Silene there, very powerful card if we hit it correctly, though. Again, flip 2 coins. Unfortunately, it was both tails, I believe. The pseudo Regidrago V-Star power, but not working out right now. But we do have the Jewel Seeker to work with here. 2 items. What are we looking for?
Remember how I said earlier that a lot of players have a love-hate relationship with Silene? That is one of the reasons why players just can't stand it. But of course, we are back to having a Noctowl on the bench. Once more, Alex just needs to find a way to get this Pheasantipity out. We do have that Terapagos in place, so Glass Trumpet can be used, as well as maybe the 1 copy of Energy Switch that Alex does play in the deck, but it will be double Night Stretcher here. We can't just manually attach and get Pheasantipity out of there, but I think the problem is looming, and on Henry's side especially, where as soon as we get Monkey Dory down, and we know what happens when Henry has access to 2 Monkey Dories, he's going to be moving these damage counters around, and that Pheasantipity is just 10 damage away from just being knocked out.
Yeah, very, very scary position to be in, but Alex Schemanske using the Rescue Stretcher to grab an energy to be able to finally retreat the Pheasantipity. Palkia now in the active. It's going to do a ton of damage, but it's just, it's 40 HP Screamtail. It's a little bit overkill, but still very, very powerful. Finally got that out of the way. How is Henry Chao now going to respond?
Very interesting. It goes to say I'm anticipating the secret box here right now, and I think Henry's also thinking on it as well, just to be able to go on ahead and reestablish here. Really thinking about it, though, has to check through this discard. Drifloon and Screamtail are both still in the discard, so we have to find a way to get them out here. Does have the Monkey Dory available, though, so I think we're trying to maximize. We're definitely going to be taking prize cards this turn, Wancho. That's not the question. It's a question of how many can we take in this turn, right? We definitely want to see something along the lines of using Adrenabrain, Monkey Dory's ability to move those damage counters over to the Pheasantipity, but it's a matter of how. We don't have access to that Dark Energy in hand right now, but here comes that A-Spec, Secret Box, discard 3. You'll be able to grab an item, a tool, a supporter, and even a stadium too.
Yes, Secret Box now being played. I'm quite curious to see what attacker we are going with as well. Could we possibly see the Drifloon? But I believe Henry only plays the one of Bravery Charm, if I'm not incorrect. Yeah, one Bravery Charm. That means the Drifloon doesn't even reach the Origin Form Palkia V-Star at this point. So maybe we attack with the Gardevoir potentially, but we have a couple of things to put together. I believe a Rod is being used right now. Maybe, yeah, getting more use out of that Screamtail being shuffled back into the deck, as well as a couple of energies. I think that was one or two dark energies being shuffled in. Again, one refinement plus one Radiant Greninja to work with, but that's a fairly thin deck at this point. Not too bad there for Henry. Really did get to refine the deck a little bit as Monkey Dory does finally hit the board, and Iono now being played. Henry still drawing a very healthy 5 to Alex Schemanski's 3, so not too bad there.
Off of the last card, there was the Dark Energy. We drew a lot of Buddy Poffins here. You definitely don't want to see that. You want to see the Dark Energy as quickly as possible here. Has the Flutter Mane as well. We did see, we don't want to concealed cards that Dark Energy away. We definitely need to start swinging with something. Dare I suggest that we just go on ahead and bring Curlia out of the active. We put forward Gardevoir EX, and we start to have Gardevoir EX be the one who's attacking. We know that Adrenabrain is going to take this knockout here, but we don't have a way to immediately knock out this Origin Form Palkia V-Star. But another thing, Wancho, we can't bump the Area 0 under depth, so Palkia is only going to be able to get stronger.
That's for sure. Again, Alex Schemanske currently winning the Stadium Wars here as a Adrenabrain, moving that damage from the Curlia onto the Pheasantipity, taking that knockout during the turn without even attacking just yet. I really like this play just because it, in combination with Iono, is always good. You know, just take out the Pheasantipity and limit your opponent's hand. Great position to be in as Screamtail is found once again. Henry really relying on this little ancient Jigglypuff. But let's see what he decides to target down. He could take a prize here, maybe knock out the lone Hoot potentially. The only other support Pokemon left in Alex Schemanski's field. That seems like a great play. And
it is a great play. And honestly, we're cutting off a lot of resources there, knowing that the Knock Towel is also in hand as well. I can't tell. I believe there's an Irida in hand just from how I'm seeing it. I also do see a Boss's Orders here, but we have no way of really going on in and expanding the bench other than that Irida here. We could potentially find something like another Buddy Puff, or no, actually Alex only plays one. We have to find a way to expand this bench as much as possible here, because this is the problem when you're fighting against Gardevoir EX, is that these small single prize Pokemon are doing big numbers, taking out 2 prize Pokemon, and then it's just a little bit tougher to keep up in the prize rates.
No, that's for sure. As looks like the grab is going to be just the Glass Trumpet there. I didn't quite see if there was a water Pokemon grabbed as well. Maybe a Origin Form Palkia, but there it is, Glass Trumpet attaching 2 water energies to 2 colorless Pokemon. It's going to be attack there. Subspace Swell knocking out the Screamtail once again. That Palkia has a grudge on that Screamtail, as we are going to pass it back now to Henry Chao. Look, we're all tied up, 2 prizes to 2, so counter catchers aren't going to work out here. Let's see what else Henry has in store. If possibly a Boss's Orders could knock out the Palkia, if we have it. 1 refinement
Could also see it on the Terapagos as well. If we're able to set up another Monkey Dory, we can Adrenabrain, and then of course use that Miracle Force in combination with the boss's orders here. But that is a very large ask, especially now that we've used our secret box here. So we are going to at least be bumping the stadium. Alex does play 3, so it is very possible for him to recover here, find another way. But we know that Henry wants to take this knockout now, but it's just a little bit difficult because once again, when you're playing this version of Guardy, Henry's version, you're not playing more than one Bravery Charm. You can't just go back into the deck, attach another Bravery Charm, and go swinging again here. Now, granted, we could start to do a little bit of work here. Dare I say, maybe a Mind Bend one show?
Potentially just confuse this Origin Form Pocket. I wouldn't be too opposed to that play, but let's see what Henry decides to work with. Does have the Iona as well to limit Alex Schemanski's hand even further. Again, this is the downside of not being able to establish the Bidoof or Bibara a little bit earlier. But even if Alex could have established it, actually, we know Henry Chow's game plan. It's been it's been Screamtail after Screamtail, as we do see the energy getting attached there onto the Monkey Dory using Psychic Embrace. So we might be seeing some Adrenabrain action potentially. Or we could just retreat as the damage counters now moved into the Terapagos. So slowly there doesn't seem to be a safe attacker at this point, as we are Henry Chao just attacks with the Mind Bed, 60 damage, now confused. Alex Schemanske, if he wants to attack with the Palkia, he's going to have to flip to try and attack through confusion. But even then, leaving it with 220 HP at the moment means Gardevoir could easily knock it out in combination with, if we find another Monkey Dory, as Alex just finding a Fan Rotom could possibly attack with it. Does do 70 damage, but Monkey Dory has 90 HP at the moment. Not too many things to work with. Looking at the hand, what can Alex Schemanske do?
It's a little tough, right? We finally see the Bidoof, so we could expand the bench, but we only really have a boss's orders. He's going to flip for it. He will flip heads, and that will be Alex Schemanske getting out. But look at this. Look how quickly Henry is playing. He sees the line on the wall. Double Monkey Dory into the Miracle Force attack is going to seal up this game 1 for Henry Chao. 1 game away from being a 2-time regional champion within the same season.
Yes, the undisputed Gardevoir Master of the Universe shows us a win here in the finals of the San Antonio Regional Championships. Again, my hat's off to both these players, and I really like that we got this in the finals as well. You know, Henry Chao, when I got to interview him, did mention a tip is stick to one deck. But now he's playing against Alex Schemanske, who is known for, you know, he's day 2'd with 7 unique decks, 7 different decks since. So Alex Schemanske pretty much a master of a lot of decks, as we are going to see the replay here. Just, again, very powerful Radiant Greninja attack, knocking out 2 Pokemon there in combination with the Canceling Cologne. But the Screamtail, definitely the MVP here for Henry Chao, being able to pick apart Alex Schemanske's main support Pokemon. Again, just because of the Screamtail, Alex Schemanske couldn't quite set up, and of course, just being stuck too with the Terapagos a little bit earlier while the Screamtail got to wreak havoc was, you know, just so powerful. And getting stuck for that one turn was the world, as we did see. This is the game-winning play, just Monkey Dory and that energy. The writing was on the wall. Henry Chao wins the first game.
Absolutely, Wancho. And as we are kind of trying to sift through some mulligans here, I think it's also really important to note out kind of the theme of Gardevoir right now, which is, sure, there will be Trifrost, there will be Moonlight Shuriken, but there are ways, if that happens in the early game, for me to come back. This can be a comeback deck, but Alex Schemanske needs to come back in this game number 2 here, starting off with the Fan Rotom in the active, using that ability Fan Call. You love to see this. You know, last game we really didn't see that much of a setup here. Not a lot of setup turns for either player, to be quite honest, but especially for Alex, we were really kind of only having just one Hoodoo, one Terapagos EX and 1 Origin Form Palkia V. Now we actually get to see the combo pieces of multiple Noctowls coming down, multiple uses of Jewel Seeker. So Alex is going to have a much better of a time.
Definitely, but looks like Alex opening up with the Nest Ball first, getting the Origin Form Palkia. Very, very important. Looking at the prizes, nothing too important there. There is the Kiernan, which could be very interesting. It is a great way to up the damage to Pokemon EX, which, you know, Gardevoir is. There's also 1 Origin Form Palkia prized. We even get the Terapagos established as well, plus the Fan Rotom. So, hey, these are the Pokemon you want to see. Alex Schemanske actually foregoing the Bidoof, instead going for double Hoot Hoots. Yeah, double Hoot Hoot and that Noctowl. So, again, Fan Rotom, great Pokemon to see in the opening turns. Even has a not too bad attack in the Assault landing. We do know the Gardevoir decks like to go into low HP, and you know, it's actually a very good attacker in its own right. As we pass it now to Henry Chao. Can we get those big turns, like the secret box into some Pokemon plus the TM Evo? But looks like we're going to start us off with the Earthen Vessel, get us a couple energies into hand. Could be the Darks, could be the Psychic, but let's go ahead and let's count our deck first real quick. Ooh.
Let's count how many Curlias we have access to on show. I'm seeing 1 and 2, unfortunately, are in the prizes. Now, luckily for Henry, he does play 2 copies of the Technical Machine Evolution, so we can still get that play off this turn. Luckily for Henry, while the hand wasn't really that great, we do have access to Secret Box already here. So we could, you know, start to discard out of the hand so we can establish an Arven, for example, grab that Artisan as well if we want to go even further. But another good thing is we already have the Manaphy in hand as well. We don't see access to the Greninja just yet for something like another Moonlight Shuriken play, but still, it's definitely a better setup for both players. It's just that Henry had to discard a little bit more to get there.
That sounds like a great hand to me. Again, with the Manaphy and your Ace-Spec, just hard drawing it on the first turn of the game. That means you are open to using the Secret Box and grabbing a supporter you can actually use instead of, you know, using the Irida or Arven to get the Secret Box and grab a supporter you're going to use for the next turn. So just immediate benefit here with that Secret Box, which we are going to see right now. Discards energy as well, which sets up the discard pile. The only question is, what are we going to keep? Because we need to keep at least 1 energy for the TM Evo. Looks like we are going to lose 1 Stretcher. Oh, we have a Kirlia in the hand. So that means we can only evolve into 1 if we TM Evo here.
That's our only also copy of Bravery Charm too, going down within the Secret Box discard as well. Not exactly your best hand here that you have to work with, but dare I say it is probably just going to be either Arven or Iono. I wouldn't blame Henry for going for the Iono instead of the Arven here, but it is going to be the Buddy Buddy Poff, and of course first here, just to set up those Ralts. I'm sure Henry knows what he's working with right now. Going down 1 Night Stretcher though, only 2 inside of the deck here, so we are going to be working with 1 copy of Kirlia off of the TM Evolution.
I mean, we do have the Iono, right? So we're going to shuffle that back in. It's just a matter of hopefully we don't draw into the second Kirlia in the deck off the Iono here, as we are going to attach both the tool and the energy plus the Manaphy now on the bench. Big 6 cards here for Henry. No Kirlia. Don't see a stage 1 Pokemon. That's a Spiritomb, I believe. We are safe here, ladies and gentlemen. We should be able to TM Evolution for essentially full effect. So not too bad. This is a position Henry has already found himself in before. He's prized 2 Kirlias in the past, and he's worked his way through it. So no stressing at all, as we are going to TM Evo here. I'm curious to see what Alex Schemanske can put together now post the Iono. We know the Noctowl was in the hand before, but looks like we drew into another one. Not too bad. Has the Ultra Ball, has the Greninja as well in hand. It's a matter of, do we have energies now in the discard pile? Because we all know that 1 Noctowl translates into the big Wombo combo, the Prime Catcher plus the Canceling Cologne. Just a matter of, do we have everything else besides those 2 cards?
It's honestly, I feel like Henry actually helped out Alex a lot. Before the Iono, we saw just 4 supporters. It kind of assumed that Alex was just going to Iono right back instead of using something like an Irida here. But we are going to be able to evolve our Hoot Hoot into Noctowl and use that Jewel Seeker ability where we're able to go get our trainer cards just from the deck here. So it is going to be the Earthen Vessel and the Irida. Wancho, you were asking for some water energy. This is how we're going to go on ahead and go get it. Throwing away the Fan Rotom here into the discard, and now we're going to be able to draw some cards here. I do also believe that Alex does now have the Origin Form Palkia V-Star in hand too, so we're definitely seeing an attack this turn.
Ooh, it's just a matter of, is it going to be the explosive, potentially game-winning attack, right? The Radiant Greninja, Moonlight Shuriken. There's 1 energy hitting the discard pile now. Let's see the 2 cards, Big Burrell and Iono. Nothing too useful there. Again, if we could take a knockout on both Kirlias, the only Kirlias at this point, this might be Alex Schemanski's game to win. With the Irida able to find a water Pokemon plus another item, looks like we are grabbing the Origin Form Palkia, and hey, even more energy with the Earthen Vessel. Do we have another Noctowl in hand? I'm curious. There's the Earthen Vessel discarding an energy. Now there's 2 energy in the discard pile. We can potentially Moonlight Shuriken here. There's the Ultra Ball. Oh, is Alex going to put it together? Ultra Ball. There's only one thing he needs to find. There's the Noctowl Jewel Seeker. 2-card Wombo combo. Yeah, there's the Canceling Clone. There's the pink card Prime Catcher now. Absolutely huge here for Alex Schemanske. It's looking good. It's just a matter of, I wonder, what can Henry Chao now do if he loses both Kirlias?
It's a great question, Wancho. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's a really great question. I don't believe that Henry plays anything like a Thornton within the deck too. There's no rare candy. It's looking a little bit tough here. I think the last time we saw the Moonlight Shuriken, it was we had at least 1 Ralts to kind of still work with here, but now we're losing both here. So I'm interested to see how Henry is going to be able to respond here. Now, granted, he did win the first game, and there's the Drifloon for turn, but how do we get through this when we already have an Origin Form Palkia in the back, which only needs 1 more energy ready to go? But, you know, honestly, Henry's going to still stay in this. This is finals. You can't just kind of give up. I mean, there's 1 copy of that Buddy Buddy Puff, and we can reestablish, but the question is Alex too set up at this point for Henry to respond?
There's a potential here for Henry to try and do what he did in the first game, right? Maybe try and boss stall Alex Schemanske a little bit. We know sometimes Alex has been struggling to retreat. The Terrapagos to retreat is pretty big. And we would need like Glass Trumpet plus an energy attachment to potentially attack with it. And right now, Alex really did have to expend resources, really had to evolve both the Hoot Hoots into the Noctowl to potentially attack, to do this big Wombo combo play. And now there is nothing to evolve. Does have the Nest Ball, yep.
Could be Mawile, but it is going to be Radiant Greninja. We're talking about that tempting trap there. Could essentially take 1 of the Noctowls or even the Fan Rotom up into the active here, because there's only 1 copy of Switch, but there's no more copies of Hoot Hoot to evolve into Noctowl to get that copy of Switch. So Henry is going to thin the deck as much as possible here, very expertly as well. We'll see what these 2 cards from Moonlight Shuriken give us, but this is when Guardy starts to slow it down.
Definitely. Concealed cards, able to draw 2 more cards as long as we discard that energy. I don't know what 2 cards save us here. Maybe Rod plus the Buddy Buddy Poffin, try to reestablish the board. Hey, there's the Rod. We have the Ultra Ball. There's a lot of Pokemon in hand. There's the Drifloon, the Fluttermane. These are all cool tech one-ofs that do amazing things, but nothing works. Even the Spiritomb's in hand, but nothing works without Gardevoir. Looking at the hand, I'm not seeing anything. Even Henry Chao just shaking his head in disbelief here, trying to think of a way out, but doesn't even have the gust to potentially stall. No Mawile yet either.
Henry just trying to decide here how to go about it. It might just be a pass back on over to Alex, and it is here. We do have Area 0 under depths in play, so this nest ball can be used here to establish the board a little bit more. So here comes another Hoot Hoot that we were talking about here. Jewel Seeker Wancho, just a very strong ability. If you guys played maybe, what was it, last rotation, is a very reminiscent to Shady Dealings from Intellion that also used to partner up with Origin 4 and Palkia V-Star very extremely well. So we're going to establish a Hoot Hoot and our Bidoof. We're going to get some draw back into Alex's deck. He does have the Iono and will play it, so we'll see if Henry's going to be able to respond here. But all Alex really needs is one water energy to start swinging again.
Yes, unfortunately, there's only 7 water energies in the deck. We need to draw into maybe Earthen Vessel, and yeah, that's what I figured. Alex definitely struggles to find these energies, so even if he got the explosive play, missing another attack, but luckily no Ralts yet in play for Henry, so again, despite missing a turn, Henry is also going to miss a turn anyway. But definitely, I'm sure Alex would have loved to just take a prize that turn. And the energy wasn't that much to ask for, but that's how much Alex really depends on that knockdown as the heavy ball was played. Grabbing nothing there. Heavy ball hits the discard pile. Does have the Buddy Buddy Poffin. There we go. Can reestablish some Ralts.
I would love to see him use another one to get another Ralts too. I mean, just in case the board needs to expand just a little bit more here. But the match has definitely slowed down from game number 1. I see a couple of supporters here. We see both Professor Turo's scenario here. We have the Ultra Ball next turn for that Growlia. If I am Henry, I might just want to try and boss stall something a little bit heavier, maybe, and not. I can't decide whether Wancho between something like the Terapagos, the Bidoof, if anything. It's just a little bit awkward here, but it is going to be the Terapagos EX here. We'll see what Alex can do off the draw.
I'm not the biggest fan of the Terapagos pull just because it does just mean it's a trumpet plus an attachment to try and attack, because Terapagos can attack as well, and we did see the Hoot Hoot establish, and yeah, it's just going to be the glass trumpet, maybe a stretcher to try and get energy. Looks like Alex is eyeing up the boss's orders, but there it is. There's the glass trumpet and the boss's orders. Do we have a water energy in hand is another question. I mean, Alex does have the switch as well, but maybe attacking with the Fan Rotom could be a thing. 70 damage is enough to knock out this Manaphy. Not too bad there, but with the boss's orders, what could Alex be eyeing up?
We want a Ralts here, right? We know with no rare candy in the list, Henry can't come out swinging next turn with something like a rare candy Gardevoir into something massive like the Screamtail that we have sitting on the bench here. We definitely want to boss up that Ralts there. We do have the pieces I think we need to. We have that glass trumpet. We also do have the Night Stretcher to go on ahead and get the energy as well here, but may it just be the glass trumpet? It will be. Water Terapagos, as I've been calling it. It is going to be going to the Fan Rotom, though, which I personally love, but I do believe there is a E-switch somewhere within this deck here. There's a switch. It is going to be Fan Rotom. We actually are going to be taking out the Manaphy, Wancho.
Not too bad. Again, Fan Rotom, talked about it earlier, just a great Pokemon to have. I respect Alex Schemanske as well, just going ahead and attaching an energy to the Bibarel, because that's been known to get stuck in the active as well. That's a prime target to really stick in the active. So just getting that preemptively, very, very, very smart move, as Industrious Incisors now able to refill the hand. Boss's orders played on that Ralts. And yeah, looking very good for Alex. Is going to be able to go down to 3 prizes. Henry hasn't been able to establish a Curlia just yet. Let's see, though. There is a Ralts. If there's a Ralts, there is a way. There is a possibility here.
It's very true. I do also want to say the Industrious Incisors also gave Alex the energy switch and the glass trumpet for a retreat and even an attack on Terapagos next turn as well. So we'll see how this one's going to go, but it is back on over to Henry's side as he is going to use that Arven for the Super Rod here. We can definitely find a Kirlia. I still do believe there's an Ultra Ball inside of this hand right now. But we have to establish, and it feels like Henry, while he gets one step forward, Alex pushes him 2 to 3 steps back.
No, definitely. And again, just remember, folks, the other 2 Curlias are prized. That's why the Rod was so crucial here. Just shuffling back the only 2 Curlias Henry has access to, as Ultra Ball is immediately played there, discarding the Buddy Poffin and the Professor Turo. We have 1 Curlia. We have 1 refinement. It's just a matter of, can Alex boss that one as well?
Alex does play 2 in the deck. I can't remember if we've seen more than just 1, but here we go. Refinement. 2 more cards. That's 2 counter catchers and a dark energy here. But I really like how Alex preemptively attaching to the Bibarel as well. A lot of players love to counter catcher up a Bibarel because it has a retreat cost of 2, but it is going to, I believe, be the slap for 30 here. Screamtail's had enough.
30 damage, that could matter, definitely. Putting it into range of something like a Gardevoir attack, potentially, as we do see another Glass Trumpet plus an energy switch. We are going to Lost Vacuum, though. Getting rid of our own stadium? Yes, it's going to be Alex Schemanske using Lost Vacuum on his own Area 0 Underdepth just to be able to discard the Fan Rotom, and that energy gets to the discard pile. So we can pick it up and use this energy switch, and now we can attack with the Terapagos. It's a lot of resources Alex had to use just to be able to do this play, but it's a play that got energy on this Terapagos, so not too bad there. Alex will take a prize, even plays the Area 0 Underdepths once again, is going to Industrious Incisor. Ooh, that's a nice card to grab. The Silene could even put back, Prime Catcher and the Cats Cologne to even maybe close out the game next turn, potentially. But those are good options to have.
We'll see if he can get it done, because I think he will go for it here. This is a massive Silene right now. Needs to flip 2 heads. I see
There's
a
one.
4, but I couldn't see the other one. I did kind of roll off screen. We'll see. It is going to be the Prime Catcher, and if he's still digging through the deck here, it might just be both of them. So good on Alex. We'll be able to at least get these 2 cards here. Prime Catcher back. I think it might be a little bit too much at this point to start powering up this Radiant Greninja to see another Moonlight Shuriken. That will require the energy switch, a little bit more to deal with here, but we do have a Kirlia. I mean, Henry does know at least what is coming here, but like we said, we have a 1 Kirlia and a Dream at this point. We need to find an attacker to get Palkia out. We do find the Moonlight Hill, but I don't see another attacker aside from Gardevoir EX. We can definitely get the knockout here, right? But we don't really have anything else to work with. We don't have, actually, we can't even get the knockout. We don't have the Monkey Tori.
Yeah, we do get the Moonlight Hill, though, so we can at least heal, maybe out of range from like a Palkia knockout. I mean, Palkia can't knock out. There's nothing on Henry Chao's bench. I'm used to Gardevoir having just everything on their bench. But looks like, yeah, it is going to be accelerated. 6 damage counters now on that Gardevoir. That means 250 HP. Do we even have an energy to discard potentially? Looks like it's going to be a counter catcher on the Bibarel, and just a knockout there. That means Alex Schemanske can opt to, it looks like he's going to opt to promote the Palkia. If we can maybe fill the bench. If we have 8 bench plus the 2, can we get a knockout on the Gardevoir EX? I believe that might be just enough.
May as well be. We'll see, though. We know that Alex drew the Prime Catcher for turn here, but of course, Nestball and Pheasantipity coming into play here. Alex's deck is not that big, Wancho. We're not really working with a lot here anymore. A couple more supporters, a Night Stretcher, 1 energy, a TM Devo, which if we're able to get some chip damage here, that could actually be pretty devastating, especially if we can find a way to stack on some more damage. Doesn't work like that necessarily, but I love the TM Devo play just in mind here. We'll see what we can work with.
Definitely. As okay, we have the Palkia. Believe we do have the energy to even just attack here. We can even go for Prime Catcher if we need to. Looks like we're gonna draw 3 more cards. Ooh, that's a Kiernan. Is this enough? How much are we doing? There's concealed cards. No, it can't be just yet. We need the stadium. We need to get a little bit more Pokemon in play. There's the attachment for turn. There's a boss. There's so many supporters. There's so many options for Alex. But it might just be keep it simple and attack.
And honestly, Henry was so smart to knock out the Bibarel there because, I mean, you take out the draw engine, right? There's only so much you can do. There's a lot of water energy already in place. So concealed cards. We don't have another Hoot set up, and Terapagos can't utilize Noctowl's Jewel Seeker ability here. So taking the draw engine smart, but is it just going to be the Iono here? Or just save the Prime Catcher and the boss later on? But it is just going to be another subspace swell here for 6, 8, 10, 12. Math is hard. Not as much damage as he had hoped for without Henry going for the full bench here.
I believe right now that's 180, 200, 260 damage now on that Gardevoir, down to 50 HP remaining. It's just a matter of gust and knockout, and I think Henry Chao reads the writing on the wall. It's just going to give it up here to Alex Schemanske, which ties up the set 1-1 here at this San Antonio Regional Championships. We're going to a Game 3, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely huge. More Pokemon to play, more Pokemon to watch. Definitely better. Absolutely intense gameplay here. Again, the Carlia's prize for Henry Chao were just absolutely huge, but you show a little bit of weakness, just a little bit of weakness against Alex Schemanske, and he's gonna go for the blood. He's gonna go for the game-winning plays, essentially.
It is going to be Henry going first, but first we have the replay from last game of Alex Schemanske fighting back here. Of course, the Moonlight Shuriken play, while it didn't work as well in game number 1 with no Kirlia, you really put a kind of stall in Henry's motion to push forward as quickly as possible. Even seeing something like the boss's orders onto the Ralt with getting the knockout with Fan Rotom, and it was just, we didn't have anything else to really work with. We didn't have a Monkey Dory to kind of alleviate some of the pain for Gardevoir here. So it is going to be Henry going first here. We'll see what the prizes give to us, because sometimes I just hate to see 2 Kirlia in the prizes, but from what I can see on my camera, Wancho, they're actually not that bad, but that was a massive top deck for Henry Chao. Already has 1 and 2 Ralts in hand, but also has the Buddy Poffin as well. We are going to see some setup this turn from Henry.
Love to see it. I mean, who needs a supporter when you can just draw into the things you need, right? Yeah, that's definitely, we're going to see at least more than 2 Ralts hit the bench. It's a lot better than the second game, that's for sure. Looking at the handout, oh, it looks like no, we are just going to see the 2 Ralts instead. Opting to not use the Buddy Poffin just yet. I think the hand would just had nothing as well, right? I don't think there was a draw supporter or whatnot. This may be Henry just bluffing to Alex and maybe just Iono my hand. It's huge. But here we go. We do see the double nest ball coming from Alex. Talk about great starts. That's a great way to find your rule box Pokemon and your Rotom. Fan Rotom just even finds even more cards. Why not? Look at the prizes. Tech TM Devolution is on the lower end, so that could definitely matter. This could be a play that Alex has access to eventually. 1 Area 0 Underdepth and 1 Erda, 1 Hoot. Nothing too detrimental in my opinion. Maybe the stadium, just because we have seen the back and forth stadium war between both these players. And just like that, just going to be a pass now from Alex. What can Henry Chao put together? There's the Buddy Poffin that he already had in the previous hand. Do we see Kirlias? Do we see TM Evolutions?
No, we don't, but we at least get to see a 3rd Ralts here. I think it's also important to note Henry's prizes. We do have access to practically everything we need this game, but it's a matter of having it in the hand. Unfortunately for Henry, we don't have an Arven in hand to go out and search for something like the TM Evolution. I see 2 Gardevoirs, but we actually just need a way to get Curlia out on the bench. But look at this hand from Alex. Already has the Bibarel in hand to get things started here. Has the Jewel Seeker as well. Didn't even need an Ultra Ball to search it out. And I believe has another Noctowl in hand too. I mean, has access to everything that he could ever want from this deck here. We can get these 2 trainer cards. We can get the Area 0 Underdepths already. And honestly, Wancho, we could potentially see, if we find the right cards here, another Moonlight Shuriken.
Ooh, that would be absolutely powerful. Again, just having the B-Barrel in play as well, just a huge safety net. Yeah, we might have to use both Noctowl just to really get something going here, because we need to get some energies into the discard pile. We still need a lot of setup despite having a ton of great cards. That's why Alex here, struggling a little bit, is going to grab the Stadium and the Earthen Vessel. I'm not sure what a good discard could be, though. Maybe the Boss's Orders for now. We're going to need everything in this hand is great. We need the Cologne, we need the Boss, we need the Noctowl. But it is going to be the Glass Trumpet. That's a tough one, Glass Trumpet. One of the only ways to accelerate energy outside of the V-Star power. Does get 2 energy here. How do we put this attack together, Emily?
It's a little bit difficult without Radiant Greninja out on the field too, so we can't draw as much here, but the second Noctowl is going to come down. Obviously, we're going to keep the Boss's Orders just because we simply have it right then and there, but there's the Ultra Ball here, and eyeing up the Radiant Greninja as well, so we're trying to find a line to get... We're trying to find a line to find the Origin Form Palkia with that Ultra Ball. We're trying to find a line where we can get Radiant Greninja because we need to start drawing a little bit more cards here. But it is going to be the Ultra Ball and the Switch here. And honestly, we may not even see the Moonlight Shuriken itself. We may just see something like a Star Portal to the Origin Form Palkia V-Star, attach those energies and just start swinging.
Hey, an attack is attack, a prize is a prize. Doesn't matter how you take it. Again, I was talking about the prizes earlier. I saw the Irida in the prize, and typically I'm used to when I see Palkia deck, it's multiple Irida, but Schemanske actually only plays 1. So that would have been a great card to grab off the Jewel Seeker. That's for sure. That's a way to grab a water Pokemon and an item. But again, in the prizes, might be lacking just a couple of cards here to put things together. It's just going to be Boss's Orders, draws a couple of cards. There's an energy. Yeah. There's a Stadium. We might just knock out the Manaphy with the Fan Rotom once again. And
why Star Portal when we can just go at it at a safer route, right? We always are talking about conserving resources, so I've never seen Fan Rotom attack this much.
Big top deck here for Henry Chao. Unfortunately, Dark Energy is not what we're looking for. What else can we get? Counter Catcher now on the Bibarel. Switch was already played. Uh-oh. That might be Henry Chao's opening. The opening he needed. Can this Bibarel get stuck in the active? We are going to see the Earthen Vessel once again grabbing 2 more energy. Is there an energy in the discard pile? There is the Glass Trumpet potentially to try and retreat and then just Assault Landing once again.
It's so unfortunate because I feel like we haven't seen Henry play with a full board of Ralts for this entire set. We do have the Kieran, though, so we can actually just take the Switch here because Kieran has 2 abilities here. And honestly, for the Origin Form Palkia deck, this Fan Rotom is the one that's actually taking a lot of the knockouts here. So B-Barrel is going to be safe here. And honestly, Fan Rotom now getting 2 prizes. It is going to be Henry finally finding a way out. It's going to be the Iono here. But man, Wancho, we need Curlia now.
Hey, Iono, that's a supporter. That's 6 more cards. Surely we didn't have any good cards in hand. That means there can only be good cards in the deck. Big 6 cards here for Henry. What are we going to see? Ultra Ball, TM Evolution. There's another Iono. No Kirlias just yet, but we can always Ultra Ball into one. And we have TM Evolution. We're just going to retreat into the Drifloon. And just TM Evolution into the 2 Kirlias without a Mana Feed to protect. Oh, that... if Alex has access to just Radiant Greninja, a way to find the Radiant Greninja, this could spell doom for Henry Chao. But right now... Oh, looks like we are going to use the Ultra Ball, to find the first refinement Kirlia at the very least. So a TM Evo could protect that Kirlia at the very least. So we are going to have the game. What else can Henry do this turn?
We need, oh wait, no, we do have the energy on the active to do just that. But you're right, Wancho. If with this TM Evolution, we are going to be able to avoid a complete bench wipe here with the TM Evolution pushing Kirlia to becoming that Gardevoir EX and that Ralts to become just a Kirlia here. Now, granted, I still don't feel comfortable here. Like we talked about, there's no Mana Feed to protect here, but that Drifloon is a very key attacker within this Gardevoir EX deck, and it's left kind of stranded here. Now, Alex also, as well, can just keep attacking with the Fan Rotom. We really don't have to commit anything to this Origin form. Palkia V-Star here finds the energy switch off of the draw for turn, though, as we are going to see the Hisuian Heavy Ball, where Alex can just confirm that there is one more Hoot Hoot in these prizes and start to get that next Jewel Seeker set up here. Alex is definitely pulling ahead based off of just setup alone.
What a great card to grab, though, the Hoot Hoot, just because we've already used the 2 knockdowns. This is the last one we have access to. Drop another bird, might as well. Just essentially Iono-proof ourselves because we have this lead. That means Alex Schemanske, all he has to do is maintain the lead, not play into the disruption. Attach return into the Palkia. That Palkia is ready to go. Hasn't even used Star Portal. We have the Bibarel too. A lot of great things. It's really shaping up to be Alex's game to win. But if Henry Chao has anything to say about it, if anyone can turn this around, again, it's the undisputed Gardevoir Master of the Universe. As we finally see the Radiant Greninja hit the board, are we going to see the Moonlight Shuriken this turn? It still takes 2 knockouts, still takes out a Kirlia. It just leaves one singular Gardevoir in play. But do we go for it right here, right now?
So this would require a little bit of work here from Alex. I mean, has the energy switch in hand, but like I said, there's no real point of going for it when this Fan Rotom has now gotten 3 prize cards. Just keeping it all safe and sound here. Finds the Scream Tail, though, off of the draw for turn. It's Henry Chao, his Kirlia, and his Gardevoir EX against the world right now. We have to find a way to reestablish the board, but speaking of a board, you have to look on over at Alex Schemanske's side. He has the Hoot Hoot ready to go, Pheasantipity EX already sitting on the bench there, and a Radiant Greninja, as well as a fully grown up Bibarel there. So it's just looking a little bit tough. It is going to be the mid-game classic Gardevoir EX Iono plays here because we just have to force Alex into a very awkward hand, but that's so difficult when everything is already ready to go.
Well, this is the Henry Chao special after all. Let's go ahead and disrupt our opponent and pick apart this support Pokemon using the Scream Tail. The only thing missing is the combination of Counter Catcher, just like the last game, to be able to stick something to active. Hopefully make the Scream Tail take a turn, but looks like it's just going to be Bump the Stadium there. Getting rid of 2 Knocked Owl. Alex is thinking, what else has to get rid of at least one more Pokemon? Looks like it is going to be the Pheasantipity, so that's getting rid of at least one more support Pokemon as well. I'm curious to see what Henry Chao is going to attack. I have to guess it has to be the Bibarel, unless he does prioritize having that two retreat Pokemon in play. Could knock out the Hoot Hoot, which is very easy, that's for sure, as we see another Kirlia hit the bench. Great to see as well for Henry. Board slowly starting to get a little bit better. But can he turn things around? Or is it too little, too late? There it is, just a retreat to the Scream Tail. 40 damage on the Ralts.
Gotta be careful, though, because we are putting a lot of damage here onto the Scream Tail. Who says that Fan Rotom, while it has already taken, 3 prize cards, why not take a 4th here? We can still keep our Origin Form Palkia from using Star Portal here. We can still take some time here, but it will be the knockout to the bench here as it is going on over into Alex's side. I do believe, though, he has a Professor's Research in hand, so we can still get through the deck as quickly as possible here. But Wancho, I'm starting to get a little bit nervous here for Henry, just because this Fan Rotom has done all of the work. Origin Form Palkia V-Star hasn't even shown its hands yet.
There's a research, but now that we've used that Alex has used the concealed cards, did draw into the last Noctowl as well in hand. Things can be put together here. Now might be a little bit of a juicier Moonlight Shuriken, but no, it's just going to be a boss's orders onto the Kirlia that has the damage. That's not too bad. I was thinking Fan Rotom only does 70 damage, but because there is no Monkey Dory in play, that's going to be enough to knock out this Kirlia. And just like that, Alex Schemanske goes down to 2, has Greninja, has access to Star Portal, Henry Chao, there's a Scream Tail, that's it, Scream Tail, Gardevoir, has a Ross that can evolve, does have access to an Iono as well. Great way to disrupt, actually, especially without the Pheasantipity or the Bimborel now.
It's just such an awkward situation to kind of be in, Wanjo. I mean, the Fan Rotom has done most of the work here, but you have to find a way to get rid of this Origin Form Palkia V-Star. I think the Iono is going to be absolutely the play here. So we're going to start, you know, disrupting the hand as much as possible. But we also have another Hoot Hoot on the bench waiting to kind of get ready to go. But there we go. The Monkey Dory will be able to find its Dark Energy, and we are going to see the Iono. Henry going to draw 5 fresh cards here. Finds the secret box, though, so maybe we can start to see a couple of more actions being taken for Henry to just assure that this Gardevoir EX is going to be as safe as possible here. There's the Hisuian Heavy Ball, just checking the prizes. There's no active targets here. We're just taking a look. But once more, there's a Super Rod in there. That can be important in getting our Drifloon and our Scream Tail back.
Yes, and now, again, Henry Chao did disrupt the hand from Alex Schemanske's side of the board, but still, I'm not sure if there's even any more counter catchers left in the deck, just because we did use a couple a little bit earlier. Because right now, even if we've disrupted the hand, they're still on the board everything Alex needs. 2 cards here. I believe that's a TM Evolution and a Boss's, or it's a Professor Turo? Yeah, it's a Turo. So does still have access to the secret box. Again, if it's in the deck, if there is still a way to potentially a boss stall here, Henry Chao has access to it. As we do see the secret box, this could be big here. Again, counter catcher and start picking on the bench with that Scream Tail has to be the key. And there it is. Secret box is now being played. Henry Chao has access to a supporter, an item. There it is, the counter catcher he needs. Iono again, not too bad, just for the next turn, and another counter stadium to be safe in that Artizone. Again, secret box, just absolutely big here for Henry. This is the last counter catcher, but will it stick? Alex has already used the switch. Alex has already used the Kiernan. What can he do? And what is the target? Is it another Terrapagos? Looks like it is. That means Alex needs a lot. He needs a Glass Trumpet, and he needs an Energy Attachment for a turn. Where's this damage going? There's only one more support Pokemon left. It's that Hoot Hoot, the lone Hoot Hoot. Starting to think now, maybe keeping the Pheasantipity would have been very important for Alex, but it's such a tough decision. Oh no, it's going to be... Yeah, it's just going to be the knockout on the Hoot Hoot. Damage moved over onto the Fan Rotom. Maybe Henry looking to knock it out eventually with a double Monkey Dory. Things may be turning around here. Looking at Alex's hand, there's an Ultra Ball and a Ditto. The stadium, there's absolutely nothing. It's just a pass here from Alex Schemanske. Henry Chao is back in it, ladies and gentlemen. Does have Kirlias, does have his Scream Tail to work with. He's going to take another prize here, that's for sure.
Now, Wancho, the problem is the Star Portal play is still technically here, right? I mean, there's no way of grabbing back the mana feed. There's no more Night Stretcher. We could easily, if we find a knockout here onto the Terapagos, it could just be as easy as moving up the Origin Form Palkia to the active and then retreating and then using Star Portal onto the Radiant Greninja here. But here comes Henry Chao, finding those two energies, sifting through the deck as much as possible. I think our best line here right now, Wancho, is taking out, actually using Roaring Scream to take out somehow. We got to get this Origin Form Palkia out of play as quickly as possible here.
Definitely. I mean, we definitely don't attack into the Terapagos. We need to attack. We need to debilitate the bench. We could even target down the Radiant Greninja if we need, but it looks like it is going to be 80 damage onto the onto the Palkia. Top deck for turn is just... What was that? That was the Silene. We're going to flip some cards. What? Is there even anything in the discard pile we want to be able to draw into? But here we go. Silene. 2 dice, 2 heads.
2 heads.
Why not? Alex Schemanske is now 4 for 6 on that Silene. Yes, the first game, it was double tails. But now Silene has made it up to Alex. What does he need, though? Maybe put a supporter on top plus something else. Looks like it's going to be Night Stretcher and Switch.
But we have to be able to get to that, right? I can't remember if we have energy in hand to do the concealed cards, because if we have concealed cards, I actually think that might just be it right then and there. We actually don't even have the energy in hand as of right now. We can't, for example, flip the script because there was no knockout taken. So the Silene here, Alex really has to think about this turn here. If it's another pass, Wancho, we're going to see Henry start to pull away just a little bit faster. I know Henry thinks he knows what's coming here, but there's only an Ultra Ball. I think it might just have to be a pass again. It is so close.
Very curious to see how Henry is going to respond to this move now. The fact that he knows what the next 2 cards are for Alex, what he has in store with the Screamtail. Is he going to go just for the knockout on the Greninja just because right now, what's on top of the deck is the Stretcher. That is a way to get energy to draw a couple more cards and draw into the Switch at that point. So they could knock out the Greninja. But then, if you knock out the Greninja, the Stretcher gets the Pheasantipity. And that means Alex Schemanske is going to be drawing 3 cards at that point. So I think that's a very, very smart move here for Alex. I'm trying to think if there's anything better he could put back on top, like just a supporter to try and guarantee it. But what we're going to have to see here, Henry now has bought so much time, is turning things around. There is a chance, there is a light at the end of this tunnel. Has been able to find the Screamtail, just absolute MVP. Not too many cards left in the deck as well, and there's still 4 prizes to take here. I don't know if there's a rod, if there's a way to maybe add more cards to the deck, add more resources to work with. Henry has gone through a lot. The hand is definitely bigger than deck. Going to be the boss's orders onto the Palkia.
Has the Iono in hand as well, Wancho, for a couple of turns coming up. Wants to probably bump the stadium as well here too. If we're able to find a way to get into the Gardevoir EX2 for that Curlia, it could be a little less scary, but of course we know that this Roaring Scream straight into the active here, and finally we are going to be seeing the double Monkey Dory that Henry has been working up this entire game for, but this is so smart as well. Putting forward the Gardevoir EX into the active so we can punch with Miracle Force. And thanks to our double Adrenal Brain ability that we have here from both Monkey Dories, I think this Origin Form Palkia V-Star is going down. Was this game just saved?
It definitely has. We have a game in our hands. Again, just shows the power of the Iono. Again, there is 80 damage on the Origin Form Palkia, 200 damage. That means we have to move a little bit onto it. Onto the active there. Adrenabrain. It's just going to be a knockout. Henry Chao is poised to win next turn. What can Alex Schemanske do? We know the top deck is the Stretcher. Stretcher could get the Pheasantipity to draw 3 more cards. The next card is going to be the Switch. That means it has to be the other 2 cards to be able to save it here. That's a TM Devolution. but that's not going to help out. There's a switch, there's an Ultra Ball. Still has access to Palkia, maybe try and survive one more turn, but then there's a Scream Tail to try and knock out anything on the board. This looks like Henry Chow's game now. What a turnaround.
It's so close too. The Thornton also could have brought us into something else, like for example, bringing forward the Palkia V and then Thornton into getting back the V-Star here, but it is going to be Alex searching through the deck. There's no Hoot. We can't go on ahead and Jewel Seeker here, but it's going to be another Fan Rotom. I have to say, Fan Rotom has really earned its place in the deck over this just past game here, where I believe we saw, what, 3 knockouts?
As many Fan Rotoms as you can. There's nothing that can save Alex Schemanske at this point. He can't hide behind a single prize Pokemon. 50 damage on the Fan Rotom means a Monkey Dory damage placement is going to knock it out. And then, but yeah, there's nothing. Even if you go into the Terapagos, there's double Monkey Dory in play. Just going to be a pass for the turn. Move the damage onto the Fan Rotom. Alex Schemanske has to promote a Pokemon. Retreat now into the Scream Tail. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, Henry Chao does the impossible. Turns around this game, defeats one of the best players in the game in Alex Schemanske, and is your San Antonio Regional Champion. Absolutely massive.